Are you striving forward towards your goals? Are you taking inspired action on a consistent basis to be able to make that difference in the life that you have, shifting into that reality that you wish to have, or that is already out there in creation that you just need to become the individual that's part of? Are you taking inspired action? Are you moving toward your goals in a way that moves the needle? Do you look at your life and wonder where the hell you are, why you're there, what the hell is going on? Or are you looking at your life with more of a sense of purposeful gratitude? Are you looking at your life saying, you know what, this is a little bit confusing, this is really confusing, but this makes sense. I am here for this reason. I've been on this path for all of these reasons, and I am making sure that I'm sticking to who I'm meant to be in this way, this way, and this way. In fact, maybe always. It's up to us to make sure we're doing that. But in particular, taking inspired action toward that goal, taking inspired action to have a different outlook on life. You see, this is something that many people, one, either never truly experience, or two, they get a sight of it and they fall out of it, right? They see it for a second, they see it for a few weeks, they see it for a few months, maybe even a few years. But something changes. Something drastically changes. Actually, let me take that back. It doesn't have to be drastic. Maybe something drastic happens, or maybe something minor happens. Something changes in them that takes their eyes, that helps them take their eyes off of that bigger picture, off of that sense of self that wants to achieve more, that sense of self that is living up to that higher destiny. You see, we can all fall into it or fall out of it at times. If we ever even get into it, if we even get into that bigger picture, if we believe that bigger picture is capable, if we're capable of that bigger picture of our life. You see, but so many of us never even take the time to develop that picture, to understand the true desires that we actually have inside, and all of which we want to accomplish in this life. You see, nobody said it's going to be easy. Nobody said it was going to be fucking, any bit remotely easy or even possible. Right? Most people will tell you that it's not possible to change the world. Most people will tell you it's not possible to start your own business or to do your own thing in most of any ways. But what are you going to do? Are you going to listen to that? Are you going to allow those people who really gave up on their dreams a long time ago, are you going to allow them to take away your inspired action? Are you going to allow them to harm your sense of self and your understanding of the world and your place in the world? Are you going to allow someone's smaller picture to demean and take away from your bigger picture? Are you? Are you going to? You have to take a step back, my man. Many times we think that it's not up to us to make this difference in our life. Right? We fall out of the driver's seat. We blame it on circumstance. We blame it on whoever we think is best to blame it on in that moment. And when we blame, we give our power away. We fall out of being able to take inspired action because we're not truly inspired. Right? That inspiration from the inside, that's something on the inside of us that gives us the motivation, that gives us the sense of self that knows our place as we shift towards that. That sense of self that says, you know what, I don't like being where I'm at. I'm not comfortable with all of this negativity. For instance, when we're younger, many of us, I know I did for quite some time, you fall into the wrong circles. You fall into the groups of people that aren't the best for themselves, first of all, and outwardly express in a negative way to others as well. Whether it be they quit sports, they do bad in school, they're doing drugs, they're slowly becoming criminals, doing more crime, doing things that aren't good for anybody. We all have different upbringings, and everybody has their own decisions, and we're young and influenceable kids, and so we make decisions that bring us into worse circumstances, and then we blame it on everybody else still, right? Yeah, as kids, we make dumb decisions. We don't know any better, so to say. And we have to learn our frame of context in the world. And many people they learn a frame of context from a very low position, a very meaning a lot of crime, a lot of negativity, a ton of negativity, and just bad things to be around for anybody. But it's still our choice to get away from that. It can still be our choice to not allow that to stay in our normal frame of concept. I know myself personally, I stayed within it for too long. I allowed myself to be ingrained. I allowed this kind of way of being to be ingrained in me to a degree for too much time, to where I started having very negative consequences. Thankfully, God, the universe, changed things in a certain way with my changing of things, right? That allowed me to break away from it slowly but surely. But I could have very well stayed there. Thankfully, I had this sense of self that was like, I need to go to work. I need to go make some money. I need to go, make some money so I can have more control over my life. Right? And things just fell into place more so in a way. I still consciously had to make the decisions to get away, though. To get away from the negativity, to get away from the drugs and the alcohol and the different things that were taking my energy, my time, sending me to a lower place. Because there sure as hell wasn't any inspired action then. I had no bigger picture of my life. I was just this young kid who was just being an idiot. Like, you see, there's my self-judgment, right? But I was just this young kid making bad decisions because I was surrounded by bad decisions. Didn't have a ton of guidance. Of course, the guidance I did have, I strayed away from that at that point as well. Because I was following the guidance of the other people who didn't have anything going on in their life. They were being very negative, doing things that weren't good. It's easy, to say the least. I was following that guidance. I was being that individual instead of listening to the guidance I did have, understanding that life could be different. I just fell into what was easiest for me to fall into. Right? So again, there was sure as hell was no inspired action then. It was just do what you want. Live pleasurably. And again, many things started to crumble. So anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed this. I'm going to get more frequent on here again. I've been going through some transitions, trying to figure out where I need to be, what I have going on, the best way to run this for you guys to get the most value. So we're going to get there. I hope you enjoyed this. Like, comment, subscribe. Send some love. I'm going to send some love your way if you're watching this. I hope I already have. Guys, have an amazing day. Have an amazing week. Let's go.